some bubbles. How are we? Oof. I'm all right. I'm a little bit tired. Early night, I reckon, tonight. I'll be asleep by about 10:30. Because I am a wimp these days in my old age. Just closing the curtains and gonna put the light on. Light on. How are we? I hope we are well. Just going to apply some fragrance. Maybe I'll put some socks on. Maybe I won't. Oh, I need to take some vitamins as well. Excuse me whilst I don't know. What do you call it when you take vitamins? Hulk up? I don't know. Oh, I don't know how long I'm going to be on tonight. Which probably implies that I'll be on for about 8 hours. I mean, I'm not going to stream for that long. I don't know how or why people do that. I just need a drink. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I'll get to the comments in one moment. Oh, whoops. So how are we, friends? I hope we are well. I am. Okay. Oh, 16 people, 6 likes. How kind you are. Oh, I'll plug you in because I don't want my battery to go flat. So yes, let's have a look. Who's in the comments? JJ Colburn, welcome. Pradeep, welcome. Brian says, the duck has fled the nest. I repeat, the duck has fled the nest. I may flee the nest, but I will always come back. JZ, what's up, Hove? Justin Height, how are you? Irregular tangent. Just got Etro Gomma coming thanks to Ram. Yes, I've got the original. The original eau de cologne in the old square bottles. The fucking presentation on those boxes is outstanding. It's got like a fabric on the outside of it. It's beautiful. Gomma reminds me a bit of like leathers like Knees 10, Knees 10. Sorry, a bit like Derby as well, actually. It's like a floral, leathery, sheep rat-ish kind of thing, you know. Very nice, very nice. Margie Noir, happy Friday to you as well. Nick, I got that letter you sent us. Thank you very much. I don't know that I thought the vetiver was interesting. But kind of pissed us off the fact that the sample set didn't contain like 2 of their best fragrances. I wanted to smell their patchouli. I've never smelled an Italian patchouli I didn't like. You know what I mean? Apart from the Bois 1920 reformulation, which is just better. Well, I've done a video about it. I will never purchase from them again. I don't care what they come out with. JJ says, Etro Gomma is brilliant. Completely agree. Etro is an underrated house. Agree once again. Another favorite is Palais Jamais. A 3 out of 3. Well done, JJ. That Palais Jamais is beautiful. Absolutely glorious. It is just an all-round beautiful scent. Fantastic. Leather jasmine, not leather, vetiver jasmine, that kind of patter. Hello, scent of the day, Scallon Indonesi, scent of the night, Ganymede. Scallon Indonesi is absolutely amazing. Rizard says, hi, Rich. Hi, Rizard. Irregular Tangent says, I got the eau de cologne. What bottle is it in? Is it in the square one or the rectangular one? I would show you them, but I'm tired today, and getting up and down out of bed's not good. I took poison last night, so today's just a laid-back, chilled day. I thought I had to think twice before doing a stream today. I don't usually do that. James Crowder says, hi, everybody. Hello, James. Just got vintage Hermes in the mail yesterday. Yes. Great recommendation. I love it. Fantastic. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it was to your taste. Because you never know, if you recommend to people that they try something, you never know whether they're going to like it as well. Also got L'Art de Gucci EDT from the same person. I don't see it as too feminine for a man to wear. Excellent. Leather Sheepra, that's right. Pradeep says, forgot the streamers on, looking at the Derby bottle. Nuclear One says, what the duck? Indeed. Welcome, Nuclear One. You smell the Dior Eau Noir? Yes, I have smelled the new one. Yes, I will come back to that after I've read the rest of these comments. Smelled them yesterday. Smelled the new Cologne Blanche and the new Eau Noir, and not impressed, frankly. Not great. I think the old one's stronger, thicker, better. Anyway. Irregular Tangent says, I'm trying to procure the Patchouli vintage one. I smelled it once. I couldn't get the bottle. I don't think I've got the Patchouli one. I've got Ambra. I've got 2 bottles of Ambra. I've got the newer Eau de Cologne and the original Eau de Cologne. I've got the original Vetiver. I've got the original Goma, and then I've got another one, which complete Sandalo. Sandalo's beautiful, but very fleeting. Excuse me. James, congratulations on vintage Hermes. I have modern formulation and it's stunning. Yeah, the modern one's really good. It's just the performance isn't great on it. Would love to have that purple vintage bottle though. Yeah, the bottle's the main reason for getting the vintage. The performance is better. The modern one, 95% the same. 95% the same. So don't spend crazy money on a vintage one, but the bottle's immense. I don't know what it is. It's just a big purple unit. I love it. JJ says, I concur. Hermes is one of my favorite irises. Yes. That and Elisandra for me. Obviously, there are others as well, but those 2 are the standouts. Justin says, anyone here try English Leather Black? No, but somebody emailed me about English Leather Black the other day, and I'm intrigued. Was it you, Justin? Anu says, afternoon perfume peeps. Rich Mitch live stream to kick off the weekend. Outrageous. Indeed. Outrageous indeed, Anuj. How are you? Margie, looking for the vintage girls myself. Nick says, Santa Maria Novella seem to be run mostly by people who don't want to go out of their way to sell their merchandise. Yeah. Does feel a little bit obstacle-y. Natalia, welcome. You still got to get Adidas 1985. Well, I think someone was trying to offer me vintage Lacoste the other day. And I was like, ooh, like the original Lacoste. And I was like, no. I was like, but do you have the Patou version? And they were like, yes, I have got the Lacoste Patou, but it's a partial. And I was like, sold. Got it. Got the Patou, the vintage Patou Lacoste, 50 quid. Nick, really? I haven't been super drawn to the house, but always curious. Sensational stuff they make, but just bastards for availability. Thanks, Rich, for recommendation for Elisandra. After testing, end up with a full bottle. Oh, terrific. It really is very, very nice. Like, I really like it. I might do a year in review where I get like the finds of the year. Obviously, Derby wouldn't be in there because I've got a bottle of Derby. I've had one before and I know what it's like. So I couldn't say that was a find of the year, but I could say that Sandra was. Hola, Mitch. Scent of the day, Borneo 1834. Yes. Nice. Welcome, germs. Ah, astounding. Paroli, how are you? JJ says, Santa Maria Novella, one of my favorite houses. I can't speak for the retail staff or shop assistants, though. No. Nick says, I've spent money there, and apart from one sales associate, it's like pulling teeth. Why are they like that? Christy says, hi, Rich. Hi, chat friends. Bri, welcome. And hi to Christy as well. So, Bri, what did you think of Cologne Blanche, he asks. Bang average. Bang average, I thought. Mate, I've got better. I don't know whether that's because I'm now holding perfumes to a higher standard than I was. I don't know whether that's because it's shit. I don't even know if it's because I'd already smelled a few things in the shop. But no, I wasn't impressed. I just thought, meh. I thought that the Eau Noir has been thinned. I don't know if that's to modernize it, because I understand that. Why they would want to make a fragrance different from a fragrance that was released 20 years ago to re-release. It's a grey area, isn't it? Go and make your own mind up, though. Go to the shop, smell it, see what you think. But for me, I've got half a litre of the green stuff. It would have to be absolutely sensational, especially at the prices they're charging. No chance, mate. You're crazy. You're crazy for this one. Not happening. English Leather Black is by Donna, just like the original English Leather, says Justin. Peau d'Espagne is really nice from Santa Maria. Yes, that's meant to be a leather, isn't it? JJ, I know if you love them, I'm sure I will, says Margie. Nick, so disappointing when you have a bad perfume counter experience. It is. Greetings all. Greetings, Herb. How are you? English Leather Black is discontinued, but no one knows about how great it is. Yeah, it's like $14. Online, says Justin. Justin's keen. He really likes that shit. Baptême de feu, Richard. Baptême de feu, Bob. Was just disappointed by this latest Lutens, sadly, says her. Poivre Noir didn't do much for me. It's a disappointing brand now. I think it's because of how far they've fallen. I don't think they've got Chris. I don't know, I'm calling him Chris because, we are on like not only first name terms, but, we've got little pet names for each other, me and Christopher Sheldrake. I think it's because they don't have like access to Christopher Sheldrake as like the in-house perfumer. Like Shiseido have got a totally different outlook on Serge Lutens than Serge Lutens did. Oh, excuse me. One must hydrate. Twice. Tasty. A tasty morsel. Scent of the day, 6 cents Kappa Noir. I've never heard of that. Eau Noir has been consistently available in bigger bottles in Europe over the past year, so not sure how a re-release would work. Guess they must change something to make any use of it. Yeah, they changed the colour. And they've reformulated it. Now they can say it's by Coeur de Jean. Excuse me. Now they can market it as being by Coeur de Jean. So, and it's thinner. It's just not as good. It's just not. Hey, Josiah. Justin Height says, I have been meaning to buy Salvador Dali, Poron, and Pavarotti's fragrance. Do I need to hunt down vintage, or will any available one do? With the Pavarotti, I think there was only one run, so I don't think you'll be able to. I don't think you'll need to worry about that. Just make sure you get it in the bottle that I've got it in. Salvador Dali, I actually have a bottle next to my bed. When I tidied my room for the first time in a long time, like properly though, you know, like where I like moved furniture around and like moved stuff out and washed the walls and shit. I found my bottle, which I thought was completely gone. It's got that same note in it that One Man Show Gold has got, and Draco Noir's got. It smells like a fucking sock, you know? It's got that bad sock, worn sock vibe. So I don't like it, but if you can see past the sock, then it has got a very nice patchouli. It's just the sock is right there, dangling in your face, just wanting to be sniffed. Like a big smelly sock. Woof. Scent of the day, Iris Pearl. Thought about getting Iris Pearl. JP says, hey Rich, I'm usually on Parfumery, like most Germans, but recently found you on Fragrantica when looking up Les Abstraits. Is GIT your signature scent? No. So, the reason I have GIT as my signature scent in the spring, summer, and tobacco oud in the autumn, winter is because they're the fragrances I assume I am going to wear the most. It's more of like I do it more as like a reference point. I must have worn Green Irish Tweed all of about 2 or 3 times this autumn, this spring, summer. Literally barely touched it. I just put that there because it's like a reference point for us. The same with the other 5. The other 5 aren't necessarily my favorite fragrances. They're the fragrances I put there that I think I'm going to wear that year. So it's more of like a prediction. And then what I do is I go back over all the fragrances I've worn over the last 6 months. Like, I'll be doing this next week. Actually, now I've just thought. And I will compare and contrast and see what I actually wore compared to what I thought I was going to wear. So I find that quite interesting because I am a giant, beaked, feathered nerd. Pavarotti was one and done. Yes, and then they made another one, a different one. That Pavarotti fragrance was immense. Salvador Dali is pleasant in later formulations, but some would argue that the older versions were a bit more smoky, gothic, ashy in the dry down. Antonio says, Duck, sir. Hello, everyone. Scent of the day, Centauri Mirror Bay. How do you find it, Antonio? That's another fragrance I won't be talking about. Hi, Rich, how you doing, mate? How is the weather? Who is the weather? How is the weather? It's been a little bit pants today, actually. It's just been like dross, really. You know? Just a bit crap. Tried Hermes Essence Violet Volinka today. Nice violet and leather, but a little simple and underwhelming. Not sure about the 2 notes thing Hermes has got going on. That's a Jean-Claude Eleanor thing, that. Just bolt 2 notes together and call it a perfume. I think he's very overrated, Jean-Claude Eleanor. I think Amber's on my favourite, says Bob. See past the sock. I'm taught to see past the sock. Scent of the Day Magnetism by Escada. I've got a couple of bottles of that. It's lovely. It's like got a cola vibe, hasn't it? It's really quite good. Amber Leathers Vanilla Floral Swoon. Yes, says Bob. I love my Pavarotti, says Josiah. Scent of the Morning Botnikoff Oak Moss Cologne, says Patchouli Pappy. Doing Kia de Russi now. Nice. Justin says, I remember the sock Drakkar thing. I actually like the dirty juxtaposed against the fresh aftershave of Drakkar Noir. But ever since you gave me the sock analogy, I can't get it out of my head. Sorry about that. Pradeep Leon is the actual signature scent, not GIT. No. Dolly is gloomy, depressing to me, says Josiah. I hope Anuj has Pavarotti. I think he's got the aftershave. Pradeep says to Bobby, it comes in a purple bottle. Also, seems like Brinda Religieuse will be gone soon. Yeah, it is. It's discontinued. Antonio says, this will be the second day in a row. I'm loving working through it. Dry down is amazing. Who's wearing magnetism, says Bob. Benyat, what's up? How are you? Signature scent is pure lemon juice. Ah. He's trying to fight me off. He's trying to keep us away. He knows it's my weakness. It's like lemon juice is like garlic to a vampire. Lemon juice to a duck. Garlic to a vampire. Hammer 14 says, scent of the day Koros. I just can't stop wearing it. It's fabulous, isn't it? I love it. I've got loads of it. I don't know why I keep yawning. You're not a fan of Tour de Hermes, Rich, says Justin? I am. I just think Eleanor's overrated, that's all. I think everything he does is very simple. I think a lot of what he does is formulaic. Vetiver Tonka is a beautiful fragrance, but all you've got to do is look like loads of the stuff he's done, and he's like Rose and Queer. You know, it's two notes bolted together. Herb says, I've just gone in and bought Queer de Russi today, but also dying to grab Après Lundi soon. Do you like L'Eau d'Hiver? Says Herb. It's all right. It's all right. It really made me happy you mentioned Noita Bakelite and one of Eugene's racist. No. That is completely wrong. It really made me happy you mentioned Noita Bakelite and one of Eugene's recent streams. Sorry about that. That is not what I meant. One of my favorite recent discoveries. It is rather good. I really like it. Mainly because I don't get much like tuberose from it. I get like green stem, you know? I want a bottle of Linstone EDP, but not in the new bottles. I think Samir from Maximum Fragrance has got some, because I bought 100 ml off him. So if you get in touch with Maximum Fragrance, Paroli, I think he's got some, mate. JJ says, Herb, I love both Après Lundi and L'Eau d'Hiver. Dusan Ninich says, wedding night in my family. Scent of the night, Frederick Mall, portrait of a lady. Nice. It's good wedding scent, that. Congratulations. Also tried H24 EDP, improvement from the EDT. Yes, has a throwback fougere touch, but overall still meh. Yeah, probably. I'm not really like bothered about smelling that one. JJ says, I just recently discovered Olivia Jacobetti did that one. I love her work with Olivia. With Goutal, sorry. Hello, everyone, says Dusan. Hello. I have 5 bottles of Koros, 4 vintage. I think the last count I had was like 11 or 12. And like all of them apart from one are like vintage. Like I've got one modern version of it, the rest. I've got one Charles of the Ritz. I've got one modern. I think I've got about 5 or 6 Parfums core, and the rest are like the Sanofi and then the Gucci era. JJ says, Herb, I mean, if faced with a choice, I'd keep Après Londe, but that by no means suggests that L'Eau d'Hiver is a slouch. I beg your pardon. Don't believe the ducky likes lemonade. I prefer Sprite. I've got a little bit of a Sprite thing going on at the minute. I've had a bottle every day this week. Just one of the like half-litre bottles. Antonio says, would anyone know when Eugene's perfume comes out in the USA? You will be the first to hear about it. He will make a video. He will make an announcement. I know that he wants to release them as soon as he gets them. They are so close and yet so far away. FCM says, scent of the day, the one luminous night. Just got it in this morning. Smells like Leighton with incense like top. I gotta stop blind buying new designer releases. Smells fine, but I already have Leighton, says FCM. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would never buy Dolce & Gabbana at retail, mate. Just wait a couple of months and they'll be at discounters for like a third of the price. Justin says, I only like Elena when I'm looking for an airy fragrance. His later things didn't impress me, I guess. I agree, sorry, not Après Londe is a bigger frag than L'Eau d'Hiver. The later is very, very delicate to me. L'Eau d'Hiver smells like getting into a laundry for warmth during winter. Really nice, says Pradeep. Peter. I had grape flavour Fanta today. That is so grim. What Chanel would you buy with eyes closed? Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually bought a Chanel this week, but not for me. So I was talking to... No, sorry, I'll start again. So recently I watched Dake Up, Super Dake Up, lovely, great. Love Super Dake Up. Taught us a lot about fragrance and just generally like, I like his history of the industry, like fashion industry. I think it's really interesting. I come at it from a different place than he does. He's really into like bags and like fashion and all of that sort of thing. And he's very good at it. He knows what he's talking about. Then I try and relate that information towards the fragrances. But anyway, he was talking about Chanel. And he was talking about a fragrance called Cristal Au Vert and how it had been discontinued. And he was like, if you find it, buy it. And then I was talking to Audrey Jane, and she was like, I want a bottle of this Cristal Au Vert. And so I thought to myself, Audrey Jane's a mate. If I ever find one, like, I'll like sort it out. Long story short, I found one. So I bought it. And Audrey Jane was busy on yesterday when I bought it. And I texted her and I was like, look, I found this bottle. Look, it's the only one left in the shop. If there was more, I wouldn't have bought it. There was just one left. And I thought, fuck it, I'll buy it. And I'll just keep it. And then when she gets back to us, she'll be like, that's great. Thank you. Like, nice one, Rich. Here, let me give you the money for it. Now send it to me. That is not what happened. Audrey Jane said, sorry, Rich. I bought one when I got back on from the airport. She was like, I have bought one already. Sorry, mate. I was like, So it's not her fault at all. She didn't ask us to do this. I took it upon myself to do it. And do what I did. So now I've got a bottle of Cristal Au Vert, which I haven't actually opened it. I got a gift wrapped and all sorts. And some samples, some Chanel samples of mascara. Because, they were offering, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, anything for free. So now I've got a bottle of Cristal Eau Vert. I smelled it, and it is fantastic. It really is very nice. I smelled it in the shops, and I was like, wow, that's nice. And they were like, yeah, it is, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it is, yeah. So now I've got a bottle of Cristal Eau Vert, and I'm like, well, I don't particularly want it, although I do like it. It's very zesty. So what I'm thinking is that when my eBay limit is replenished on the 20th of September, I'm going to sell it on eBay, unless anybody here wants it. You can have it at cost. If you're having trouble finding it. Anuj, have you got any Cristal Eau Vert? I should have asked you first. Chanel's flankers aren't great, are they? You're right, like. Excuse me. Anyway, back on the thing. JP says, got a newer bottle of Antares recently, and it seems to be a shadow of the older formulation. Didn't you get your nose on a recent batch? Yes. I think it smells okay, but the performance isn't great. I am actively looking for a vintage bottle. That's another one of those ones that I want, like the same thing with the Derby. If I found it, that's a perfume I would buy to improve the collection. Also, there is a vintage Cuir de Russie on eBay at the minute, and the person wants a lot of money for it. Not as much as the Derby. It might be mil for mil. It might be more expensive, mil for mil. But I do want the vintage Cuir de Russie. Ramsey very kindly sent me a mil or two of his version of it, and it's the same one that's for sale. And I smelled it, and I was like, ooh, fuck, I need this one. I've actually got the Eau de Toilette Les Exclusives version, and while it is good and nice, it's so thin compared. It's so thin compared. I have Ganymede and Irisandre finally on the way. Also, Trudon Solis Rex Bougie. Well, Ganymede's okay for modern fragrance. I respect it because it's a little bit mad, and I like that. Irisandre is fabulous. I've never heard of the Trudon, and I'm not saying that again. Anuj says to Peter, delicious. Grape soda is awesome. Dushan says, H2O at the theatre. Like Diaghilev, you should be kind to others around you. Diaghilev's shite. It's not shite. It's definitely not shite. I just don't like the premise. Grape soda. Welch's. No, ginger ale will be my fizz of choice. I'm taking Sprite at the minute. Coconut water is the superior drink, says probably. Bloody hell, it's all coming out now, isn't it? Also bought some Mysore sandalwood oil from Al Sharif. I'm going to use some to macerate ambergris and the like. Outrageous. Jacob was one of the most passionate YouTubers I've ever seen. I love the guy. Yeah, I still watch his old videos. If you're wearing Diaghilev, then you are wearing Diaghilev. Grape drank. H2O, what's on it? The repertoire. Did Jacob shave his head? No, he didn't. But he did. It did look like he had for a second, didn't it? With the thumbnail, but he didn't actually. Herb says, how does Cristal Eau Vert differ from the number 19? Cristal and 19 are already very close in my opinion, especially the EDT. Yeah, I would have to spend more time with the Eau Vert. I don't know that it is that close to the 19. I'm not sure that it's that close to the fucking Cristal, to be honest. Justin Height says, Super Jacob did an unboxing and review of a vintage Chanel number 5. Yes. Yes, were you there for that? I watched that live. It was absolutely immense. Pradeep says, just got Iris shot from Olfactive Studios for a good deal. Really carroty, almondy, creamy iris. Watch out selling Chanel on eBay. This is not a normal. I know what you're saying, Pirulli. You're right. Oh shit! And news you have got some. Cristal Eau Vert. Please get in touch. Pradeep says Cristal Overt is widely available in France. Oh. Duchamp, successful eBay purchase I had from my second girl on Art à la Matière. Over the moon. Can't wait. That's another thing I'm thinking of selling, the moon. Cristal Overt is widely available in France. Fragrance Journey, the goat has arrived. The goat is here. At the store grocery shopping and listening, brother. Welcome, Robert. How are you, sir? Pat Lester says, hello, Rich. What's the scent of the day? And mine is Voyage by Hermes. I'll tell you as soon as I hydrate. Oh, my God. Somebody's not got a dry throat. Scent of the day is Loewe Pour Homme. I love that shit. It's fantastic. I'm just going to wear whatever I want regardless of the weather for the next week, like, because I'm rotating the collection on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward, like, I'm really looking forward to it. It's like I do it twice a year. It's fabulous. You still got 1985 Adidas in Nuge? He did have it. Just sprayed Lorenzo Viaresi Atman Jaman EDP on my arms. I've got a sample of that. I must compare with the EDT. I think it might be the EDP, actually. The EDT I've got. Glorious. It's such a great name, that, though, isn't it? Atman Zaman. Bob says FC. Angie Black. Angelique. Angie Black from a nice lady seller on the East Coast. Struck my third offer. Expensive, but I will only settle for gold bar bottles. Welcome, Micah Shoemaker. Hello, Christoph. Your package is on the way. Scent of the day, Cosme Polo Safari. Yes, I've got that one. I've got to put 3 bottles of it, actually. I might wear that as well. Coconut water is good for you, says FCM. Thanks, Energe. I'm going to have to get multiple, says Justin. As well as coconut oil. Good evening all, says Smoke C. Welcome, Smoke C. Are you going to be sending me any pictures this weekend, Smoke C? Christophe, no iris in overt, and it's not a shop, says Christophe. Aha. What was the Rose Fougere you were raving about a couple of streams ago, JJ, says Paroli. Anyone tried the new Aqua Lagoria Forte coming out of Guerlain at the minute? Any good? No, but I was propositioned by one of the sales associates at Guerlain with the Harrods exclusive, which I forget what it's called, but they didn't have a tester. 400 quid. It is 400 quid. But I was like, oh, I'm not buying that without smelling it first, mate. I'm not buying that full stop unless it's absolutely stunning. But it's a Harrods exclusive, so I'm going to try it. Paroli, you mean last night when we were discussing barbershops? Domenico's got a sin in 1913. Scent of the day, Patchouli by Etro. That's the second time that fragrance has been mentioned today. Alfonso, lol. Afonso, sorry, not Alfonso. Afonso, I beg your pardon. Richard, the upside down fowl is a sign of distress. I don't like it at all. Everything kosher. Yes, I just feel a little bit weird. I always feel weird on Fridays. I've been taking poison, mate. Don't worry, I'll be fine by the end of the weekend. This is just the process we are going through. But I'm all right, don't worry. I didn't know it was a sign of distress. Maybe it's just like a what do you call it? You know, when people like subconscious. Where was I? Did you try MFKH24? Sorry, 724. No, I didn't. I just had a little browse, and then I got out of there. I was feeling a little bit weird yesterday. FCM says I was intrigued by Luminous Nights due to reviews and how it was originally a Harrods exclusive, also made by Horo. I think I'll keep it. Well, if you like it. Ramsey, welcome. Sheep and Quack. JJ says, I know the new EDP is more expensive than the EDT, Paroli. Not sure what is going on there. And yes, all the bottles are pricey. If you can find the bottle like I have, you'll be fine. JP Music says, don't reach out to the moon very often. Also thinking about selling it. It's that amber woody shit that's in the back of it. It fucking ruins it. I found Dunhill Icon in your I had list on Fragrantica. Don't you like it anymore? I reached out to it quite often recently. No, I never liked Icon. I had Icon Extreme, and then I had the black one as well, Absolute as well. I had the black one, the gold one, and the silver one, and to be honest, I just gave them all to Richie G. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. That's a nice one, Bob. I love Angelica as a note, and that's excellent. Professor Brown. Really looking forward to smelling Peter's fragrances. Thanks for making this happen, Rich. My pleasure, mate. You have sorted me out. It was absolutely my pleasure to help you out. Anything you want ever again, let us know. Ah, Girl on Royal Extract. That's right. It was called Royal Extract. I don't know if it was 2. It might have been 1, 2, or 3 or something. A friend is looking for Royal Oud 75ml. Bloody expensive. No, I've actually got a very interesting experience I had this week. I wore Royal Oud, I think it was yesterday actually. And do you know what it is? As soon as I put it on, I smelled Impression Cedarwood Hot by Ostens, and I was not impressed with either of them. I was not happy with either of them, I've got to be honest. I thought, fucking, these are extremely expensive fragrances, and they shouldn't be, because those notes are clearly like the big cedar note that's in the middle of the pair of them is identical, and it just shows that Creed used IFF, because that's who's got that cedar wood note. So Creed used IFF to create Royal Oud. Yeah, and the prices of the pair of them for what they're charging, not impressed. I prefer Royal Oud over what's the other one? The Ostens. Although the Ostens has got a lovely violet leaf note at the top. The Moon's my jam. Absolutely love it in winter. Half a spray. Yeah, you don't need much. Absolutely massive. Ramsey says, scent of the day, Original Dawn, Malik Al Taif. Drawn by Scent says, hello. Just got home from day trip to London. Got to smell the new Girl on Ouds. Oud Call, my fave. MJ says, FCM agree. I'm trying to convince myself not to buy the 100ml, finishing my decant soon. Rose Heaven, huh, Ram? Says Antonio. Ram Malik Al Taif versus Paris Monte Carlo Taif. Go. I know that he loves that Paris Monte Carlo Taif. He really loves it. I got a lot of ISOE super from it. Drawn by Scent says, got what I really went for at Santa Maria Novella. Mushio Oro. I've never smelled it. Promises my jam, says Paroli. Get a tripod. Please do review sitting on Hadrian's wall down the street. I've got a tripod. I could take you up there and do a stream, or do a little video or something like that. I could do that. The problem is that walking is like, the terrain is a nightmare for me because of my back. Like, I'd be in trouble quickly. But I could take you to Vindolanda, which would be extremely interesting for you. literally live on what was once known as the edge of the known world. Promise is also massive. Promise is probably one of the most massive fragrances I own. Herb says, like the moon, but only have it as a hair mist, as it was going cheap on eBay for 80 quid and just had to. Don't wear it much. Peroli, love the fermented apple. How did you like the deer musk and Malik Altai for Ramsey? I've said that 5 times fast, Ramsey says something. Herb says, I love Promise Peroli, but one of the most underrated malts which rewards patience like massively. Man of the stream and news, says Duchamp. Ramsey says, I usually do all day, but I don't know if it's so much better. I would get a bottle at this market prices. At the set market prices, since I already own the Paris Rose de Taif extract. Christy says, yes, a field tip with the duck. Possible. Possible. Let's see what the weather's like. Mal hair mists are like powerful EDTs, says FC. I mean, I can believe that. Drawn by senses. I tried the perfume on holiday earlier in the year and it was one of those must-buy moments. I bought it eventually. I read that as dial soap vibe. I also got Brioni ADP Intense, which is similar to Promise but more wearable for everyday use. JP Music says, I'm sure you answered that many times, but do you enjoy and appreciate New York Intense? Not sure how I feel about it. I do not like it. I do not like it. New York Intense is massively overrated. It's far too like powdery for me. It's big powdery leather, which I do not like. JJ says, this perfume contains animal product. Was quoting, I should say, quote, this perfume contains animal product, an absolute derived from legally obtained wild Siberian deer musk grains. These were sourced from a legal institution that buys only from registered hunters who have permission from the Russian government to hunt a regulated number of wild deer per season. Says JJ. I'm not sure I trust anything coming out of Russia, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Which is a shame because the Russian people are lovely, but anything that has Russian government written on it is just a disaster waiting to happen. FCM says, Ram asked because you love Paris so much. I haven't tried either, but have access to top grade Taif Otto and Adam's source of Siberian musk grains. Christoph says, good night, everyone. Good night, Christoph. Sleep tight. Your parcel should be with you soon. Yeah, JJ, Ninja Rob from Siberia. Ninja Rob from Siberia. Paris Santal du Pacific is shite. I press Udict forum. Exactly, Rich, as JJ. It's just everything. I mean, if fucking Vladimir Putin turned around and said, the sky is blue and the grass is green, I would go out and check. You know? I would literally go out to I would literally go outside and look up and look down just to make sure that he wasn't bullshitting. I think everything he says is he's a masterful liar. He's an arch bullshitter. Him and that fucking Lavrov. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Oh. Chris, it's Friday night for crying out loud. It's his Bob. Yes, but he has a schedule, man. He sleeps at 10 o'clock every night. Herb says, I love Russian literature, to be honest. The Idiot is my favourite book. I love The Idiot as well, to be fair. I think I'd err on leaving the deer alone now. It is a little bit. It is strange. I don't know. If it's old stock, like old fur, if you can prove the provenance of like the fur before the bands came in, I would like old tusk and old like ivory. I mean, I just wouldn't buy ivory now because you just don't know whether it's old or new. So maybe what I should really say is that I just wouldn't buy it in the first place. Like, but I don't know. I do love Russian literature though. Russian culture and literature. The people are sound. It's governments which are shit. JP Music, what is your most favourite recent discovery? Oh, recent. Could be Iris Sandra, Could be. Sorry, I'm yawning again. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to go on for them. I think it's probably going to be Iris Sandra. Although there's an incense perfume I bought recently. I'm really enjoying Camel at the minute. I'm a fan of Camel. Sacred Scarab's really nice. B. I really like B. Wore B when it was hot recently. And it was beautiful, to be honest. That's the sources, aka. Yes, I guess it does. It says drawn by it's softer than dial, though it comes as a splash, but they provide a separate spray to plug in if that's your thing. Ramsey says, to be fair, everything our Western leaders say is a lie too. It's hard to argue with that, isn't it? The more time passes, it looks like they want to take the world down with them. Yeah. Hey, Paroli, that moon sounds like an excellent one. Spray and go outdoor ice skating in winter, eh? I wouldn't do more than one spray, like. It's not great. Not great. JJ says, WWF frowns upon the hunting of musk deer, even if it's regulated. But, to be fair, the WWF frowns upon any sort of, like, cruel, well, not cruelty, but, like, killing of animals and all that sort of thing. Yes, Bob, 1000%. What a trail around the ring. Herb says, Rich, given it's your catchphrase, what do you think of Miles' outrageous? Don't like it. Wrestlers care about deer. Yes, the moon is pretty good for the winters here. I eat 3 hamburgers a week. My reach purchase won't be the reason I don't go to heaven. Dear me. It's not the reason you're going to go to the toilet either. 3 hamburgers a week. I had a hamburger this week. In fact, I've had 2 hamburgers. Jesus Christ. I've had 2 hamburgers this week. The hell am I talking about? FC, great job again with that Monsieur Guerlain link. I finally dated my 50ml Habit Rouge EDC Splash 1988. Yeah, if it's an EDC, it's going to be before the 90s, isn't it? Cool, Bob. Herb says, is camel similar? Is camel similar to Araby? Never tried camel. No, not for me. Camel's got... No, it's not similar for me. Reminds me of Arnold punching a deer. The World Wildlife Fund, not the World Wrestling Federation. Smoke C says, just got my first bottle from Joram Studio, based in Scotland, and it's brilliant. Thingy likes that stuff as well. Galen. Well, Brian, cheeseburgers till the end. Well done. No snap. Well, in Mother Russia, anything goes. Sup, Bubble Ducker, says Phil. Hello, Phil. Brian, spot on. Got a vintage bottle of Araby on the way, says Ramsey. Yes, you do. That's right. You told us. Ramsey hit the books. We don't want to lose you, says Bob. Nice. Ramsey, I got an older bottle. I'm not sure what year of Araby last month. Sweet, though. Very sweet, though. Ramsey, is that the beige label? Got one and they slap. Love it. It slaps. Oh, water. Excuse moi whilst I hydrate. Have I got any messages? Oh, I've got one from Brian Alvarez. Who could that be? I've got an email. Picture. H24 Eau de Parfum by Hermes, eh, bro? Shite. I'm not looking forward to that. Ramsey, is that the beige label? Pradeep says Serge Vetiver Oriental is really meh. Yet they are moving it to the bell jar, it looks like. I think it's been the bell jar for a while, hasn't it? I've got like 5 bottles of that stuff. Yeah. Woof. It's really good. It's like chocolate, dark chocolate and vetiver. I like it. I miss the recent days when Fragrance By had many of the Lutens, yeah. Going to the same store tomorrow, might pick up the old bottle of Alan Away or Jeu de Peau. Yes, get the Jeu de Peau. It's fucking class. JJ Colburn says it's unfortunate Araby was moved into the bell jars as being a Serge Lutens favourite of mine for 14 odd years. One of the first from the house I was introduced to. Very sweet. I used to wear it on Christmas Day every year and then I got sick. Brian, both excellent choices right there. I'm developing a fascination with Serge Noir at the minute. Has anyone tried Chypre Rouge? Massive. Phil Stevens says your volume just enhanced tenfold. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, Herb, unfortunately, those were the only 3 old bottles they had last time. Just buy them. Hey, Rich. Hello, Abe. Smoke C, Jeu de Peau is a nice one, Brian. It is. It's lovely. Yeast mode. Smells like bread. Very yeasty. Sorry for asking, but which fragrance did you mention as your recent discovery, says JP Music? Iris Sondra. Or what was the name? I'll write it in the chat. Sondra. Oops. Oops. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud, come on. Andra by Naomi. Good, sir. There you go. I just picked up Rudy's MKK. Very excited for that. Oh! I don't like it. I think it's got a straight up shit note in it. Like a foul sort of rotting shit. It's not nice. Shit that's been in the sun. Hello, Shiva Vareen. How are you? Paroli says, I've given up on finding those old Serge Lutens. It's impossible to find. The prices are insane. Yes. Robes hated Sheep Rouge. That's right. I absolutely... He had to wash it off, didn't he? It was so strong. Herb says, I love Sheep Rouge, although I get more fermenting berries than moss. Lots of honey and cumin, too. Germs says, I really enjoy Vetiver Oriental. I just picked up an old bottle of Wire Flute for pretty cheap. I have got Miel de Bois, which is really nice. I really like that. It's a fantastic honey fragrance. JJ says, Serge Lutens Serge Noir has this odd trigeminal. Ugh. Trigeminal nerve reaction in me. I can't tolerate it for that vibe. I prefer Louis Vuitton, Lorenzo Villarese, Piper Negrum. That's really, really peppery at the top, isn't it? Like, really peppery at the top. Makes us sneeze. Ah, thank you, says JP. No problem. Good day, sir. Good day, AW. Welcome. It smells like those Valentine cinnamon heart candies, says Paroli to JJ. Massive fan of a big civet note, says Abe. JP says, have you tried Myths Man by Amouage? Yes, but I can't remember which one it is. Rich, have you smelled Serge Lutens? Have you smelled Serge's Satan's bed sheets? Yes, the Couche de Diable. Very nice. I'm well, says Shiva. I'm awakening from an unintended nap. Oh no. La Couche is not bad at all, says Pradeep. La Couche, says James. Herb says La Couche de Diable. Nice labdanum, but don't know why they call it an oud. Just because if you've just got to fucking say oud and some people will buy it. You know? People are silly. People love like the average punter is like, if you mention oud to them, people like go giddy at the knees. It's like most oud fragrances don't have oud in them. In fact, 99% of fragrances that say have got oud in don't have actual oud in. Or if they do, they have such minimal amounts so that they can justify saying it's got oud in it without having to have the expense of having oud in it. JJ says to Herb, I have no idea why oud is mentioned for that one. There's a slug of Biolan's hydrocarborescine. A wonderful fractional distillation of labdanum. Hello, Rich Mitch. Hello, friends. Hello, Bariatrion. How are you? Oh, nice, says Herb. Did it come from the traditional methods of combing gomes from the cistus fields? Combing goats. The participe passé. Donna, is it syrupy sweet? La participe passé smells like cheap curry sauce. Oh, it's fucking appalling. Bob says, how many bottles are involved with your seasonal changeover? At least 100. Not 50, mate. At least 100. Right. I'm going to go to the bathroom. 2 minutes, please. Oh. I'm watching you. Wow, that's a creepy door. Smoke Accord. Smoky Accord. Oh, first thing I'm going to do is take some tablets. I'm only going to stay on for another half an hour. I'm already knackered. Take my pills. Excuse me whilst I hydrate, for I must hydrate. Oh, okay. So, catch up. Well, I'm not certain of that herb, says JJ, but the biolands provide some spectacular naturals to the perfume industry, many of which are commercially available to independent perfumers as well. Better smoke than Cade, in my opinion. 5 hamburgers, says Bob. Oh, welcome on Average Joe. How are you? Sup, Joe, says FCM. Ramsey, do you find Tempo to be a niche version of Lidge? You know, Tempo is very average for a diptyque, in my opinion. They could have done a lot better, I feel. JJ says, Cade really needs to be dosed in traces. Perfumers fuck up their use of Cade all the time. Above Average Joe, says Anuj. Hey, Joseph at the mall. Howdy. Easy to OD on Cade and birch. If you put too much birch in, it smells like fucking barbecue sauce and it's rank. Bobby, that was a few days ago. Another vid in the works, says Joe. Jem says, I'll never tell Rich that I like participate passe. That's alright, I won't tell him either, mate. JP Music says, Myth's Man is the purple one with the chrysanthemum note. Some get urinal cake vibes, but I think it's a friendly, bright ash. Very unique, but can be challenging for some. Yesterday, I ordered 2 bottles of raw gold from a French boutique. I call it taking advantage of the euro-dollar parity. I know what it really was. Unchecked consumerism. Yes, Shiva. Consumerism. That's right. I'm battling with that one myself. Tempo was nice. No citrus or anise like Lidge and more patch chocolate. Not redundant to me since I love that cig. I've got so many patches now that they need to be good. Anyone like Auto Parisi Toroni? It's bonkers, says FCM. JJ says, Enrique, I can answer for you. Not really. Tempo is just a different sort of composition beyond a core of patchouli and some tonka. Yeah, it's pretty average, like. Well, then, once again, I've been a victim of false advertising. Down you, Serge Lutens, says Phil Stevens. Ariatron says, a Royal Mail industrial action before 2 vintages arrive. I'm fuming. Well, they want to be paid better. They see the bosses and the profits going up, and they don't see any of that, even though they do all the work. I understand that. What do you Brits know about barbecue sauce? Brits know about barbecue sauce. Yes, we do. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Hello, Rich and chat. Hello, Adam D. Oof, that sucks, man. Yeah, it's a pain in the arse that you can't get your perfumes. So I do have like a lot of sympathy with you there. There's nothing worse than waiting for your perfumes to arrive. Ask Eugene. Deepest sympathy with Eugene having to wait for those perfumes. Eugene's getting literally the biggest haul ever. You know, he's taking receipt of like 1,500 bottles. I think the biggest haul I ever got from a news was 70. And it's stuck. Well, there we go. JJ giving out all the secret sauce. What is he talking about? Barbecue sauce? Georgie, says Enrique. What is your favourite patchouli perfumes? Oof. I think I did a favourite patchoulis last year. I could do the same list in a different order this time. You like patchouli 24? No, I smelled it yesterday. I think it's awful. What was your favourite diptyque, Volutes? Possibly Lombardon's Low, EDT. I really like that. It smells like the sap of a plant. Really nice. Hey, Mitch, should I blind buy patchouli Koja? I will never tell you to blind buy anything. Smell it first. Get a sample, mate. Favorite diptyque, Tamdao EDT. See, I prefer the EDP. That's interesting. Why do you like the EDT more? I'm intrigued. JJ says Santa Maria Novella Patchouli, Reminiscence Patchouli. That is a good. You can get that cheap at discounters as well. I used to be able to anyway. It's a lot of fragrance for the money. That actually. Givenchy Gentleman 74. Yes. Krizia Moods. Yeah. It's very, very scratchy. It's very sheer. I've got a couple of bottles of it. Like, I do like it. I'm going to try and wear it, but it sort of tickles me nose. Histoire de Parfum Noir Patchouli. Somebody was raving about that stuff to me. I think it was Dura Rose. El Profumo Patchouli Noir. I haven't tried that one. Herb says Eau de Sens was okay for me. Also like Oud Palau, weirdly. Oud Palau's like the only rose oud you really need. Does everything. It's cheap enough to actually buy. It's massive. It's well made, well blended. Like a 75ml bottle will last you forever. It's one spray of that shit, and you will frighten people. You know, people will fear and quake. FCM says, I have Toroni. I loved it at first, but it's not an easy wear for an entire day. There are some perfumes like that, aren't there? Like, you put it on, you'd be like, oh, this is nice. And then it gets to lunchtime, and you're like, oh, this is a bit of a slog. And then you get to like tea time, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're like, oh, God, die. You know, like it's worn you down. I prefer EDT, says FCM. Yes, but why? Toroni was one of my best blind buys, and that's saying a little or a lot, says Shiva. I'm an Otto Parisi fan, man. A fan, man? I like it. Another great patchouli, L'Artisan Parfumé Voleur de Roses. I have decided to give... Oh, no, sorry, it's a different brand. Made by the same bloke, though. I've got a couple of vintage... Maître Parfumé Elegantier in the old red bottles. Giving Ramsey like about 15 mils of Root de Vetiver. That shit is black, like tar it is. Herb, I like Oud Palau as well. It's addictive. Yes, it's quite powerful. It's so strong. It's so big. I would be surprised if there's any like real rose, or like there's almost certainly no real oud in it. But it's for what it is exactly what it's like supposed to be, a rose oud that performs like absolute stink. How much would you pay max for a vintage Fahrenheit 100ml from the 90s? Well, I paid £200 for a 200ml of a 1989 bottle. It's in perfect condition. It was a partial as well. I think it had about 180ml left in it. So work at about between £1 and £2 a mil. It really is fantastic. It wasn't reformulated until, oh God, it wasn't reformulated until the early 2000s, maybe 1998. So the first 10 years of its release is like the same formula all the way through. Beautiful. Stunning. Beautiful fragrance. I'm going to wear that a lot as well, actually, when the thingy turns over. Famous YouTuber. Welcome, Duncan, mate. Rich bro, what fragrance should I wear today? Igna Silver. I don't know if it's Igna or Ina. Root de vetiver, says JJ. That is an acquired taste. It certainly is, but I revel in its tarriness. Yeah, I imagine if you spent enough time with it and you got to know it and you wanted to and you tried and you worked, then you could definitely get there with it. It's just like, whoo, like, wow. I'm not ready for it. And I've only got a little bit, so I thought, fuck it. I'll give it to Ramsey. Klein on his org says, I would have to try Tamdao EDP. Why do you prefer it? I think because the EDP structure suits the fragrance more, in my opinion. Now, if you like the EDT, wear it and be happy, But I think the EDP structure suits that style of fragrance more. Has anyone had some experience with Alain Delon Classic by Alain Delon, strangely? Ramsey's probably a man for that one, mate. I'm thinking of wearing Aubusson Futuros. Shiva says to FCM his burger mask and Megamare are endless. I have to wear Teroni properly. Wasn't Poland awash with vintage Fahrenheit until relatively recently? I have no idea, A to Z. Could have been. Have you tried Dior's Eau Sauvage Cologne? Yeah, maybe. Not that I can remember. Anyone try or have denim EDT? Not me, no. The EDT diffuses better. The sandal cedar just billows out nicely. The creamier EDP, well, nice. It doesn't last any longer. And at that point, I get the sandalwood options for thick, creamy lactonic. I got better sandalwood options for thick, creamy, and lactonic. So I just like I bought that. That's like one of the first sandalwoody dominant fragrances that I ever bought. So I didn't need to get anything else. I mean, I've got other ones. I've probably got better ones now, but I still like that. I also like that they're only 75ml bottles as well. So there's a chance you'll get through them. What is your favorite modern vetiver perfume, says Enrique. Ooh. Modern vetiver. Oh, Christ. Do you know, it could be that formulation. Do you know the Guerlain vetiver, the formulation in the square bottle, the bottle with the ribs from side to side? Probably that one, because at the top, and I don't like grapefruit, but I'm sure there's a big grapefruit note at the top of it, and it just sparkles, and it's beautiful. It's a very, very nice. You can still get those bottles quite easily as well. So when you say modern, I'm going to sort of have one foot on either side of the line there. Rich, have you tried the Verid sample I sent you? Interested to hear your thoughts on that one. Not yet. I've got so many samples, mate, but I do appreciate you sending them. I've got samples coming out my ears. I'd have to go and find it. I've got some over on the sideboard. I've got some on my desk. Not my desk, my bedside table. I've got samples coming out my ears, were you the person who sent me the girl, the Pharrell Williams girl? Because that shit was lovely. I'm not going to go out and buy it, even though the bottle's outrageous, because I don't need another bottle of perfume. It's not going to change my life, but it's a fantastic little scent. Like, I respect it. I've got time for it. You know what I mean? Phil Stevens says, JJ, is McDonald's secret sauce really Thousand Island dressing? He's going to get his gas spectrometer out in a minute. He's going to be able to tell you. He's going to reverse engineer it. I beg your pardon. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Duchan says, anyone tried 1986 Eclectique? Eclectique by Les Bons Guabois. Silver it will be, says Duncan. Nice. That Fahrenheit was a bargain. Rich, I wore it in 1998, borrowed from my dad. Nice. Excuse me. Anuj, is it possible to get a hold of vintage and discontinued Santa Maria fragrances? I wouldn't have thought he'd got any of those, but if he did, that would be great. My 2-year-old loves JJ Cocoa Melon. Anuj, is it possible to get a hold of vintage and discontinued Santa Maria Novella fragrances? Sorry, not a brand I am too familiar with. Duchan says, Anuj, I will buy it from your store. Thing is, I have all types of natural sandalwood it competes with, but the EDP is just fine on its own merits. Yeah, I like it as like a sandalwood forward fragrance. Hello, Omar. A to Z, they're not rare, they're just fucking hard to get. Right bastard to try and get a hold of those Santa Maria Novella, you know. Someone has just left a comment on my channel. Sasuke Uchiha. Nigel is the best perfumer in the world, followed by many, many dots. Not sure about that, Sasuke. Seriously, she needs to be fired today. I got us that. Hello, Omar. JJ says, trust that I have quite a difficult time locating them. It's one of my favourite houses. Yeah, one of those houses that tries to stay exclusive. It baffles us. Barry Atron says, yeah, it did. Worst bottle ever. I get Fahrenheit vibes from it. Yeah. CM says, I think Essenza Nobile has Santa Maria. I think they do as well. I like Essenza Nobile. That's where I buy a lot of my niche from. JJ says, nice. I really love the old world medicinal tonic scents. Oh, God. One of them smells like straight up cleaner. Like harsh clove and fucking like polish and all that sort of thing. I can't remember which one it was, but it was very, very astringent. Berke Erkok. Hello. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Hey, Rich. After your review, I tried Patchouli Magnetic. The patchouli note was indeed delicious, but the peachy floral notes were a little off-putting. I think I could be better with less of them. I need to wear that more to understand it fully. But I've got to be honest, I love that stuff. So delicious, thick, syrupy, rich, dark. I think the peach may add to that. You know how peach has got that soft kind of like soft, almost milky sort of vibe going on. Black Afghano is a nice modern vetiver. Really? You think Black Afghano is vetiver? You know, I can see that now you've said it. I sort of get where you're coming from, actually, yes. It's a strange old fragrance, isn't it, Black Afghano? There's no right to charge the money he charges for that stuff, though. JJ, do you like Geranium Pour Monsieur? That has been the scent of the summer for me. What a fragrance that is. It's based on an anistic tonic. I didn't know that. I do. I have a review for it on Fragrant. I did the write-up over the summer. Your reviews are always a good read. Thanks for those, says FCM. Thank you, says JJ. There's a lot of politeness in the chat. I'm a fan. $500 free ship from a Sensei. Yes. Yes, that's right. Start the changeover. We got your back. Break a bottle. I will not, Bob. I shall do nothing of the sort. I'm looking forward to wearing the shit out of that girl on as well. I'm going to wear at least 10 mils of that this year. At least. Good Lord. Type of fragrance, though, that you've got to sort of wear like nice clothes when you're wearing it. You know what I mean? I'm going to put a suit on or something like that when I'm sitting at home or lying in bed. I found Roger's Haute Luxe for €2,170. Is it a good deal? Absolutely not. Do not buy that fragrance for that price. Do not buy that fragrance at all. It is a total gimmick. 2,170 is just, don't buy it. Christine Najal, not so impressed. Yeah, shite. I tried Haute Luxe before and I wasn't impressed by it, says Adam. I think Ramsey got a bottle, but he got a really, really good deal on it as well. Like half of what you paid, what you're saying there. Just don't buy it. Just don't pay that for it. It's not worth anywhere near €2,000, mate. It's really not. Closer to half that, and probably less than half that as well. So you're talking like under €1,000. Even then, I don't think it's worth that. Considering I just paid about €1,000 for 200 mils of vintage Guerlain Derby, which is in pristine condition as well, by the way. The mint at the top of that fragrance is beautiful. It's pitch perfect. No. Don't pay that, please. Adam Silla Leon is definitely better. Oh, don't say that. Dang it, this far dry down of luminous nights is like every other amberwood gourmand. Leighton has enough in a collection, for fuck's sake. Yeah, the amberwoods are a fucking menace at the minute. You simply can't get away from them in the modern perfume like thing. It's tragic, you know. It's hard. It's just, oh god. Just buy a bottle of Amber Max and put that on, or Amber Extreme and put that on. JJ says Roger Parfums as a whole is a gimmick, in my opinion. I couldn't agree more. Total gimmick. Total gimmick. Shisha bird just knocked itself out trying to fly through my window. Oh, nightmare. I've seen a picture online of somebody's window, and there was like an imprint of an owl on it. Literally, do you know, like barn owls, they've got that flat face. It's literally that flat face and the wingspan and everything that's just tried to glide through a window. It's hilarious, I must say. Bless it. Good evening, Justin. How are you? Scent of the day, Dior Homme Intense. I'm going to try and wear that a bit more as well. A to Z says, JJ, have Santa Maria Novella Colonia Russia bar soap. It smells like the 1970s. I like it when stuff does that, when it smells like a time, you know? Stronger than many modern bottled fragrances. I've got a great soap collection. I'll go through it one day. I can't imagine many people will be interested, but I've got some cracking vintage soaps. I've got an Egoist soap. I've got Lacoste. I've got a Caron Pour un Homme soap. A Bellamy soap, like a vintage Bellamy soap. I just collect them. I don't use them. Awesome. FCM, your windows are too clean. Windex clean. The Roger prices aren't image or a gimmick, says FCM. Yeah, I totally agree. Poor guy. Roger's shirts are a gimmick. Yes, that's right, Klein. Adam says, Rich is spot on. The perfume is not worthy. Have you smelled it before and like it, Dusan? Bob says, that is 5G. It's not, mate. They've been doing that for years, mate. Birds are sound, but often they will try and fly into a window. Like bats not so bad. Birds, nah, Burks, more like. Jura Rose is here. Hello. I'm on a bus heading home. Yeah. Hi, Jura. And where is Audrey? Audrey's been out having fun with Aisha Ahmed today. She didn't invite us, did she, Jura? She didn't invite us at all. Went to Manchester without us. I think it was a little girl. I say a little girls trip. I think it was a little trip for the girls, not a little girls trip. Jesus, Jura rascal. That's right. Duck, have you ever smelled any Hermes essence created by Nigel? Oh, I'll tell you the Hermes essence I've got, and you can tell us if they were created by Nigel. Chanel. I've got Vetiver Tonka. I know that wasn't. I've got Santal Messiah. I've got Ambra Nargile. I've got Paprika Brazil. I've got Meriglantine, which smells like shampoo, which, if you've seen my head, you know that's like an oxymoron. I think that's the right word. It's ironic, anyway. A Peace Marine, Agar Ebony, and another one which I can't remember off the top of my head. My bald head. Oh, I'm going to have to check which one it is now. Hold on. Where are we? A Peace Marine, Agar Ebony. Queer d'Ange. Queer d'Ange, Eugene's favourite leather, or one of Eugene's favourite leathers. Not for me. Is it the heliotrope or the hawthorn in that? I think it's heliotrope. Actually, I think it might be hawthorn. One of the two. Massively floral. Although if I smell Queer d'Ange, right, or Queer d'Ange, I should say, I get a vision of a brand new white leather handbag. You know, like the type of handbag that could give you snow blindness. Like that, you know? Gene Hunt would wear Colonia Russa. Gene Hunt? Sorry, I was thinking of Gene Hackman there. Roger has been very private since the Ghost Perfumer book came out. Yes, that's right. I never thought of it like that. Use the Dawn soap. No. I shall not be using the Dawn soap. I don't use soap. Like, advice from a dermatologist. He was like, don't use soap. I was like, why not? And he was like, you just don't need, all you need to do is like, you just need to clean your nether regions and under your armpits. So the rest of it's just basically a gimmick to sell soap. And your hands and stuff like that. It says soap is just like, it says you just wash your hands, and wash like the bits of the folds of your skin. I was like, oh, and your feet. It was like, as long as you've got good personal hygiene, you go in the shower and have a scrub, he says you're fine. This is like a professor of dermatology who told us this. Wasn't like some fucking bloke on the internet, you know what I mean? I am quoting a fucking, like, a professor of dermatology here. Bellamy soap. Honestly, it's like vintage Bellamy soap as well. You know? Outrageous. Good day, Rich. Good day, Lagandam, JJ, and friends. Scent of the day, Towers Incense Rose. I'm looking forward to wearing that as well. The laudanum. Laudanum? Don't you mean labdanum? Laudanum's a drug, mate. The laudanum and incense he uses in this fragrance are very high quality. Reminds me of Amouage. So glad I backed up. Led to Desert Marrakein, Eau Coeur de Desert, and Lone Star Memories before the prices went up. Buzzing. Diaghilev and Fetish Femme Roger are very nice in my opinion. No doubt no doubt he has had some nice fragrances made. Diaghilev, I thought it smelled lovely. It's not something I would buy. I'm not going to sit here and like deny it because I'm not in favor of his practices. Like, it's a very nice product, but he didn't make it. He got someone else to make it. Rich, who would be the heir to your perfume throne if something were to happen? Jesus Christ, Sailor Boy coming in hard there, mate. In what way do you mean heir to the throne? Not that he is beneath us or anything, but Ramsey would definitely be the one to carry on the legacy, is probably the way that I would put it. As far as who would inherit my perfumes, probably Richie G. Ramsey as well, but that would he would have to come over and pick some up, you know. Eugene could have access to some of them as well. I'd probably leave most of my stuff to Richie G because he was like one of my best mates. Do you know what I mean? Not that like Ramsey and Eugene aren't, but they're not like available to come and get them. You know, they'd have to come over. Roger, con artist extraordinaire, says Smoke C. And he's nasty. Do you remember how he threatened Aaron Terrence Hughes for critiquing one of his fragrances? No, I didn't know that. Frank, call me Frank. All right, Frank. The one Nigel Hermes essence that I really like is Cedra Sambac. I think Eugene likes that one as well. The others were forgettable or a bit too reductive. Frank says, Equipage reminds me of Spanish soaps. Do you know, I was getting ready to put Equipage on eBay today. Literally got it out, thought, fuck it, I'll spray it. Sprayed it, and I thought, oh, I don't hate that anymore. So I'm going to be keeping it, I think. I'm going to give it a try this autumn and winter, see what happens. 70s tuberose coming soon, says a regular tangent. Dushan says, Smoke C, how did he threaten Aaron? Yeah, I'd like to know that as well. Frank says, I'm the youngest fella named Frank ever. Get in. Yes. Get in. That's made me laugh hard. I threatened ATH. I heard loads of noises about Diaghilev, says Adam. Litigation, Dusan, says Smoke C. Oh, shit. I love the Hawthorne Blossom Accord and Queer d'Ange. I'm not entirely sure, like, how I feel about, like, Hawthorne. Like, Queer d'Ange to me has got this sort of creamy sort of vibe. Has it got heliotrope in it as well? So I'm sure there's something in that, in Queer d'Ange, that's also in Chamade pour Homme by Guerlain, of course. There's something in there that draws them two together for me. Gabe Oppenheim has many fragrance gangsters quaking in their sandals, says A to Z. Well, if you read the book, you'll learn a bit about the bloke who owns Mancera and Montel. Meant to be a bit of a shit. Frank says, I think ATH and Roger called it cool. ATH makes claims that can be defamation, insists that the night has no real oud. I think Terence Hughes, I watch Terence Hughes' reviews, right? When he came out and said that he's got Asperger's, it made a lot of sense. I think he's honest. I think he's extremely honest, and he can't be faulted for that. I just don't think he's always right. So I can always forgive him a mistake. I don't think he's trying to be something he's not. If that makes sense, that doesn't make sense because the way he acts, but like I think there's like a decency there, actually. You know, I think he's honest when he speaks about perfumes. Smoke say explain, says Jura. Duncan says it's possible Roger is a clone house. More than possible, mate. More than possible. Almost, I mean, I would, yeah. Roger is a clone house. But Marl is above the fray, says Frank. I agree about soap and shampoo, says Bob. You say you've got hair, son. You've got hair. Shampoo is just like a write-off. Honestly, before she died, my grandma used to get me a bottle of like shampoo every year. And I was bald. Double bald. You know? I had more hair on my face than I had on my head. Scandalous. I never said anything because my granny, she was like 95. Do you know what I mean? Christ. ATH irritates me no end. Yes, yeah. He winds, like, he can wind you up. Yeah, I totally get that. Frank says, I'm just going to use the word Frank. Can I be Frank? No, I can't. Roger pisses me off because I like his fragrances. Nothing personal. I could listen to him talk about fragrances all day, but I would never buy anything off him. I had those 2 fragrances and they were really not very good. The Parfum colognes. They were really, really not very good. And one was a blatant rip-off of Heritage, and I forget which one the other one was. Is Grey Vetiver discontinued? No. I just got Grey Vetiver for 113 euros. Yeah, I've got like 3 bottles of it. Like, I got the Pre-Lilial reformulation ones. I don't like reformulations. Just stop fucking changing everything. Leave shit and well enough alone. Thanks, JJ. Deletes all negative comments and has created this illusion that he's a YouTube star. Are we talking about Aaron? I can totally see how people... Do you know what it is? I don't think I'd like to go for a pint with him. You know? I wouldn't like to go out and socialise with him. I imagine he would be a fucking nightmare. Strikes me as the type of person who you've got to have known for a while, and you've got to be in... Well, he's got Asperger's, so you know, like, if you know anything about people with Asperger's, you know that's you've got to treat them a certain way, and you've got to handle them a certain way, and you've got to be willing, you've got to be understanding, you know, and sometimes I can do that, and sometimes I can't. But I think he's very honest about when he says things. The claim he made about Fragrance Dubois not having any oud and having to apologize, while the video when he had to apologize was very funny, the claim, right? I can totally understand how he made that claim. Like, and he was right when he turned around and said, these houses shouldn't be allowed to get away with making the claim that they've got oud in when they've got like trace amounts or less. And he's right about that. I was told the same thing about soap. Yes. Bollocks to soap. Just dries you out. It's just a way for fucking, it's just like it's cheap as chips and you can shift thousands of units. You know what I mean? Chorus made Aaron Towns Hughes cry. That's when I lost all interest. Yeah. Frank, a farce and a menace. There's some unintended stuff going on there. May find healing in whatever capacity. And really, it's not at least in the UK. Who? I'd love to know who helped Roger Bird. I mean, you've got to understand, he's been involved in perfume for years and years and years and years. He was in a high up position at Girl On. Well, not that high up, but he was at Girl On for years. And he's a networker. You know, you've heard him talk. You charm the birds out the trees, do you know what I mean? Like I say, I could listen to him talk all day. Just never hand over any money. Aaron Towns uses the height of, look, I am smart, throwing around chemical terms, bloke, which is funny because he can't pronounce loads of words. And then he comes out with like outrageous like words like dihydromercenol and something acetate whipping through the base, you know? We all agree that all clone brands, all the base and Fragcom, the rising prices, EU bans on ingredients is all Demarche's fault, of course. Frank says, please save me a Balenciaga. Oh, no, mate, I'm taking that with us, sorry. He's been fact-checked dozens of times by the perfume making community, says Juju. Look, I'm smart, says Bob. Omar says, Scent of the Day, Roger Apex. Could be my favourite. Sorry about that. Frank says, 38, dresses like a 25-year-old. Frank. That is enough, Drew. I'm 37 in October. Not looking forward to that. I'm putting the perfumes in your canoe with you, Rich. You are getting a Viking wake. Thank you, Duncan. Take care of it. As much as I do love to lampoon Aaron Towns, I do feel sorry for him. There's something up. Yeah, he's got Asperger's. He came out and said. He also says he's dyslexic. Creed, Frank, Roger, Frank. He's a serial deleter of posts, not honest. No, he's very delicate, isn't he? Chanel, Frank. Driving back from Manchester, says Audrey. I'm listening. What did you buy? Lady Jane, listening to a ginger voice. You leave my orange voice alone. Ginger PC is heritage, really. Yeah, it is. It's total bollocks. It's such theft. Such theft. Really is. Like, if you were to take it to a copyright judge, right, if you could, or if anybody was inclined to do so, yeah, it's a total fucking bump. He's just taxed it. Probably she'll stop the caravan for a quick kebab too. Does Elysium smell like a combination of Aventus, Blood, or Chanel? I don't know. It's one I haven't smelled. I'm not really interested in getting into the Rogers, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm just not. I completely agree with you on the soap and shampoo thing. Says Saab replay. That stuff is completely unnecessary. Yes, welcome, Saab. Lagandam says, as much as we love to lay it on Roger and rip him to pieces for posing as a nose instead of a creative director and charging exorbitant prices, he released some real gems, to be fair. Enigma, Diaghilev, fill in your favorite here. No, I agree. He's released good quality fragrances. He just didn't make them. And I mean, he's there is not a direct line between what he says about himself as far as being a perfumer is concerned and the truth. Not our definition of what a perfumer is. Jura says, Rich, you need to get the Balenciaga Pour Homme shampoo. Believe it or not, I have got Balenciaga Pour Homme body wash and shampoo. Never used it. Smells beautiful. One of the nicest ones I ever smelled, the body wash and shampoo, which I actually gave to a mate. She loved it. Was Gucci Pour Homme too. Absolutely stunning. She was going mental for it. She said it was fucking gorgeous. I have Elysium, Cologne, and Diaghilev. I will trade Elysium for almost anything of half to 2/3 value. Diaghilev? Well, never, says Sheila. I'm sorry. I'm yawning a lot. What time is it? Oh dear. Well, we'll go to 2 hours instead. I was going to do 1.5, but we'll go to 2. I'm tired. Organic chemistry BS, class for med students, just memorization. Yeah. Good evening, manly sense. How are you? Ah, Eugene, lick the stream. Everyone is saying hello to Eugene. Les Abstray in the house. Jura Rose. Okay, I'm getting off my bus. Everyone on board? Loved your ginger voice. Yes, no doubt they did. Audrey, tell me anything. Hello, everyone, says Eugene. Do you like Diaghilev, Rich? It's good, but it's not worth the price. And I would rather just get the original girl on, to be honest. Just get Mitsuko. Or is it Zhiki? It's one of the two. Try and get a vintage. Just try and get a vintage Zhiki or Mitsuko. No, it's definitely Mitsuko. It's not Zhiki. I'm selling a vintage Zhiki if anybody wants it. 50ml. It's a tester. I want about 70 quid for it. 70, 80 quid. I refuse to use basic soap, says manly sense. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Just use fucking, like, Dove, basically. If you're going to wash your hands, just use Dove because it's got moisturizer in it. Soap is like lip balm, just dries you out. I noticed that with lip balm. You use lip balms, right? And lip balms dry your lips out, so you've got to put more lip balm on. It's fucking bollocks. But moisturizer on your lips, you'll be a lot better off. Agnes Silva smells like a pig farm deep in a mythological hobbit forest. A hobbit? Remember when the Fragrance Apprentice went through his hobbit phase? That was a good time. I enjoyed that phase. Are the older vaulted Creed fragrances real or part of the backstory? I mean, define older. Anything, there's no evidence that Creed existed as a fragrance brand before 1975. And that if you go back and listen, right, before Gabe's book came out, I'd said that a few times on Eugene's stream. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that Creed existed before 1975. I'm sure somebody was like, oh, like you can check in the French tax records. So yes. Eugene. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Waiting for your first impression on H24 EDP. I have the Balenciaga Pour Homme soap. I've got that. And I've got the aftershave as well. Yes, Frank. Eugene, Quatrefoil, Anouge, Frank. Diaghilev is deep, says Frank. Diaghilev costs about 625 euros in my country. You could spend that money on a vintage Mitsuko and get 10 times the experience because they'll use all those old notes and ingredients that they're not allowed to use anymore. That gives it that 3D sort of thing. I've got a vintage Mitsuko that came in like the old Coca-Cola bottle. Anouge sent us it for nothing because the sprayer was fucked. And I have decanted it and I have neglected to wear it again this year. I really should wear it. Mitsuko. Oh, I mean, I really like Cologne Royale. Or Cologne Imperial, I beg your pardon. Cologne Imperial is like a beautiful fragrance. And that is probably my favorite of the old girl ones, but then it's followed up by then it's probably Mitsuko. Jiki's all right. I don't like the powderiness of it, you know. Interference, welcome. I'm jumping off in a minute. Sorry. Kiehl's lip balm has solved that problem for me. Try it. Kiehl's is a good brand. Their original musk is lovely. Absolutely. Book. Yes, little Miss Book is here. As she is driving home. Drive safe. It is Friday. You never know who's on the roads. Yeah, I always wonder who was in the picture from Creed cards. Who is that very old guy? I don't know. It's probably like one of those things. Do you know when people there was a spate of this that went on in the UK. I don't know if it happens anywhere else in the world, but what like criminals would do if they wanted to create like a new identity to get like a dodgy passport or like fake ID document or something, is that they would go back through the death records, right? And they would pick children who were born and died at the same time that they were born, right? So they would have someone of a similar age to them, and then they would like basically use that person's identity, and that person's like birth certificate and all of that sort of thing. They would reapply for a birth certificate, sorry, and then they would send the birth certificate off to get a driving license, and then identity theft, yeah, exactly. So the person on that Creed card could just be somebody whose identity they've nicked. Yeah, I always wonder who was in the picture on the Creed cards. Famous YouTuber. That sounds like a troglodyte farm. Famous YouTuber. Dove Argan Soap is supposed to be almost as good as Moroccan Oil Cleansing Bar. Don't know what that is. You can still do the passport scam. It came out in the recent Spy Cop inquiry. That and pumping teenage mistresses. Christ. No, thanks. I've sold that A to Z. What is the hour? We will cross. There's 10 seconds left. 45 people here. Thank you all. Oh, shit. Someone is here. I am going to remove. Hide. Report. Shit. Hide user on this channel. Do not. Fucking. Yes, nudes, finally. Even Parfums de Marley put 1743 on their logo, which has nothing to do with them. Yeah, it is just total bollocks. It's just picked like 4 numbers out their arse, haven't they? Yay, nudes, finally, says Frank. Omar says, I hope nobody takes my identity. The only dog who likes fragrances. Isn't it? It is funny how dogs don't like perfume, isn't it? You summoned that porn bot, that's right. You summoned it with talk of teenage mistresses. Bob says rich perfume usage may go up as water shortages increase, France, etc. No, it's getting to the rainy season soon. We'll have plenty of rain. Don't worry about that. If it's a dry autumn, then we are fucked. Red light district hour, apparently, says Phil. Maybe we need adult dating sites, Rich. I mean, we almost certainly do. And it's Friday night, and there's the best part of 50 people in here talking about fragrances. We definitely need all the help we can get, really, can't we? Rich, have you smelt 1740 Histoires de Parfum before? Yes, I want to say yes, but I can't remember it. Dushan says, Mozart smelled Parfum de Marley. Yeah, it's a good way of putting it, isn't it? Oh, I mean, fucking hell. George Washington was smelling Parfum de Marley. Yeah, Galen has finally shown his face. His curly haired, unkempt face. I wonder what he wants. Someone mentioned a hobbit. Oh, God. It's 10:10. I am old and I am tired. Every day is like Sunday. I fucking hate Sundays. You can almost bet your life I'll be doing a stream on Sunday nights. I hate them. 1740 is supposed to be a banger. Marquis de Sade, right? Legoist loves it. My dog used to love fragrances with ambergris. That makes sense, actually. Take the dog to the beach and see if you can find any. Oh, the dog passed, didn't it? Ah, shit. Sorry, mate. Tuesday and Wednesday is my weekend. When you get to mature, says Adam D. Mozart was filthy as far as I know. My neighborhood has a private pond that has fountains in the summer, like a slap in the face of the drought. My dog loves ambergris, says Bob. Oh, right, that's it. I am extremely dehydrated. I'm getting tired. My throat is dry. And we've discussed perfume for 2 hours. I will... Oh, excuse me. Thank you to everybody who liked the stream. Thank you to everyone who watched the stream and commented on the stream. I thank you all. You are very, very nice. Oh, Omar's getting upset. Grr. Thank you very much, everybody. It has been emotional. There's like 50 people in here now, just as I'm leaving. Outrageously, I've got a hair in my mouth, but I don't have any hair. Outrageous. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it greatly. I will see you all again soon. Bye.